From the many realms of Aetheris to the distant reaches of the 13th via the magic of podcasting, this is episode 46 of A Podcast Reborn. It's a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and possible future of Final Fantasy XIV. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, December 17th of 2023. As always, the following podcast may contain mature language and spoilers for the MSQ. My name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro. Welcome to our final episode of the year. I hope you've made the best of your time in game this year. I wish I could say the same, but what can I say? I'm a summoner. I ruin everything. With me to wrap up the year are my two wonderful co-hosts. First off, our resident cat mom and chaos gremlin, and our show's official VTuber of the year. Take that, Iron Mouse. Hi, Meagan.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't been streaming this week because I don't know. I don't know if I got COVID-2 Electric Boogaloo or if it's just the same one or if it's just another cold. But I'm a little crusty.
Understandable. And ladies and gentlemen, before you send an email, for the record, I also do stand Iron Mouse, but she is officially number 2 on this podcast list. I'm just
I love Iron Mouse. She's so cute.
She is. Next up, we have our resident old man, Altaholic, who enjoys long walks on the beach and counting trees strapped to moving vehicles. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, we're up to 34, okay? We're on track to break the record.
That's 4 more since your last post.
I know. We had a streak where we saw 3 in one day after not seeing any for like a week. It was ridiculous. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Did you guys hear about the Chocobo racing enthusiast who won so much that Square Enix suspended his account?
No, I didn't.
They suspect foul play.
Sure?
I'm dead now. I died.
My dad jokes finally killed Meagan. The last podcast of 2023 is bound to happen. We are accepting auditions for a new co-host.
No, I'm still here. I'm just a
we're accepting auditions to replace Brandon. So if you are interested, send an email to.
But who's gonna dad joke if I'm not here?
Hey, I thought I did okay at the top of the show.
You did very well. I'm actually impressed every time you pull it off.
All right. Well, like I said, last episode of the year, this kind of once a month routine is pretty much working for me because I've definitely am playing the least amount of Final Fantasy XIV of the 3 of us here. Doesn't mean that I'm not logging into game. I have been logging in the game. I still do my casino stuff, but other games are definitely taking my attention. And then retail-wise, the holidays make things a little interesting for me as well. So I don't have a heck of a lot to say about my time with Final Fantasy XIV. I do have a couple of discussion topics to bring up a little later on, but for now, I'm going to let these two kind of carry the weight as far as what we've been up to lately. Brandon, what have you been doing in Final Fantasy XIV? I would normally go to Meagan first, but I know what's coming up in Meagan's thing, so and I want to save that for later.
Mostly it's just I've got some random things that I feel like I have time to do now that I don't have, MSQ or other major side quest content to worry about. I finally started re-leveling my island. I got it above level 10. I think it's like 12 now. Been collecting a few more Manderville weapons just because I need to. I've got one last Disciple of Magic job to level on the main before I get that cool At Magic's Horizon title, which I don't know about y'all, but I think is really cool sounding. So I kind of want it. I've been leveling a new alt over on one of the new realms on the new data center just because Seraph.
Oh, that's where our alts are, where we play with our friends.
Nice. I should join you guys sometime, except I'm like level 30.
Well, you can join our guild, which is going to someday be a theater troupe RP guild, after we...
I'm actually already in a free company over there because there's a bunch of us in the group at LA at Yacht S that made alts over there just for reasons. So we formed a new FC called Taco Tuesday.
Oh my God. Well, once we get the theater company up and running, if you want to come join us for some shenanigans, we are planning to put on actual RP performances with plays and stuff.
I don't know if my grumpy Al Raw boy is going to be much of an actor, but hey, we'll think about it.
Yeah. You can always be a stage manager or security.
Yeah, I'll just yell at you all the time. I think the most exciting thing is we've had a friend who has been going through the MSQ, and I got to be there when she experienced the end of 6.0. Starting about with the second to last person to sacrifice themselves, and should have stayed that way if I'd had my druthers, but hey, who cares? And culminating with the right before you go into the final dungeon. At that point, I had to go because it was really late and I needed to sleep. Mostly, I just haven't been gaming as much with the other games I have because I have several things in those games I need to do that I feel like are going to be taking a long period of time to complete. And everything's been so busy lately between the holidays and, shopping and dealing with end of year school stuff with our kids. Whenever I finally can game, I'm like, I only have a little bit of time. I'm going to go play an MMO because I feel like I can do something and feel accomplished by the time I need to log out.
Yeah, MMOs are good for that.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm honestly glad that I'm currently, if I am going to play an MMO, as far as my main MMO goes, I'm glad I'm playing one that's kind of styled in a way where I really don't feel like I have to log in every single day and grind. Now, mind you, other MMOs are learning and adjusting and being less grindy that way. Yes, hi, World of Warcraft, I see you there.
Healers adjust.
But yeah, I'm still subscribed. Do I feel like I'm getting my $15? Actually 16 because I have like an extra retainer. Do I feel like I'm getting my money's worth? Yeah, considering I want to keep my large house and
it's a housing payment.
It really is. It really is, right? It's like rent for the frickin' house. But
I wish rent was only $16 a month.
Man, wouldn't that be great?
Every time I pay my mortgage, I cry for like maybe 10 minutes, and then I get over it and try to survive.
Objective survive. Yeah, our rent went up 10% this year.
Have you? I'm going to take things off topic here because I am contractually obligated to mention Baldur's Gate 3 at least once during this episode.
I haven't played it at all since last time.
You haven't played it all. Brandon, have you played since they added the epilogues?
I have not. I have not finished the game yet because, like I said, the last time I think there's like 2 side quest fights I still need to do that basically I've kind of psyched myself out on because of what people have told me about them. And I'm just like, one of these days I'll have the courage to get back in there. But for now, I've also been way too busy to feel like I could dedicate the time to finishing those off and figuring out how I'm supposed to even start them. But I've watched a crap ton of content on YouTube about the epilogue, but have I actually experienced it myself? Not so much.
I try to avoid like anything specific. I'll like read memes and stuff because I've gotten to know most of the characters except for the ones that you meet in like Act 3 or whatever. So like just seeing silly memes about them, I'll get that. But anything that's like, oh, this decision was so hard, I'm like, nope. But, I've been so brain foggy that I'm like, I don't want to like make an important decision right now.
Oh, what's really fun though, when it comes to the thing, that what they've added in the most recent update. I'm not going to go too in depth into this, but they have added in custom games and honor mode games. Honor mode is like the highest difficulty, and you've only got one save. So when you party wipe, that's it.
Ooh, no!
The custom game, you can like fiddle with the settings and stuff, so you don't have you can set it on like regular difficulty for like the fights and stuff. But I've been playing lately my playthrough. I've been playing a one save thing where with the party wipes, that is it. End of story. And I've got to say, I did a lot of save scumming playing the game in the past, but doing it with this run where like each decision, each roll is important, and like if things go wrong, you just gotta kind of have to roll with it and ride with it. I thought I was going to not like it, but actually I have really enjoyed it because there's a little bit of an extra adrenaline rush when the stakes feel that much higher.
Oh man, that sounds stressful as fuck to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, here's the thing, right? It does, like, to me, like, I would never do this kind of thing in like Diablo or WoW, like hardcore modes. I would never do a hardcore mode in any other game. The reason why it doesn't bother me in Baldur's Gate 3 is because since the story can play out so many different ways, even if I lose, I don't feel like I've lost anything if that playthrough comes to an end prematurely. It just means that playthrough, that story, that experience and journey came to an end, but I can play it again, experience things differently, and I'm not going to be bored because unexpected and different things can still happen. So I'm not saying that's just because that's how it works for me that it has to work that way for everyone else. I totally understand the stress of playing on a difficulty like that. I'm just saying why it works for me.
Well, for me personally, I'm an extremely trial and error gamer. Mm-hmm. Like I don't like pre-planning that much. I don't like, min-maxing. I like YOLOing, running in and seeing how it goes. And if a party wipes, they'd be like, oh, that didn't work. Or like try something else. So the thought of like, nah, you got to know what you're doing before you get in there. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't want to. Because there's so many times that I've party wiped just like by blundering into something stupid. Like the fucking, like the gnolls. Up. Those, know what I'm talking about, the gnolls of the cave.
I know exactly the fight you're talking about.
I didn't know that was.
You might even say I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, or like there are times where like I'll be like, I'm just gonna talk my way out of this, and then it goes horribly, and then I have to fight.
Never try reasoning with a gnoll.
Yeah, it's usually not going to go well. Now that I've taken us off track for a good 5 or 6 minutes of Baldur's Gate 3, I'm going to put us right back on track. Meagan? I'm very happy that I feel like this is your gift to me for this Starlight Celebration, because I saw you post in Discord several days ago a picture of a quest that you were on, and I can't wait to hear more about how that all played out.
Okay, so we're currently playing through Heaven's Word with 2 of our friends who we used to play World of Warcraft with all the time, but we've been trying to get them into FF14 for years, and they've finally decided they went so far in, they've like bought out half the online store, and
holy shit.
Yeah, they're like really, really, really into it. I knew my friend would be because she likes anime boys, so I was like, girl, come on.
Fantasia's on sale. Now's the time.
I remember trying to tempt her with the bunny boy, and she was like, it looks okay, I guess. And I'm like, ah. And now she's like obsessed with her bunny boy. So I'm like, because at the same time I was like, oh yeah, you guys should do the trial first, whatever. Bunny boys you can't have though. You got to buy. She's like, I bought it. I need the bunny. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. You're a bunny. Good job. But her bunny is very
bad job.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So we're going through Heaven's Word, and we're coming up on the vaults, and I know what it is. Word knows what it is. I'm trying so hard during this playthrough to like not give anything away. Like you're running around with your friends, you don't want to be like, oh man, this quest. You don't want to like, I don't want to hype it up too much and then them not have a reaction to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to like spoil anything. So I'm literally just like biting my fist through so much stuff. And also it's so funny because Cassie, my friend, is also a writer. She has her own webtoon and she does her own stuff. And so she will occasionally just be like, oh yeah, that's like she'll like blur something out. I'm like, did you read ahead? She's like, no, it's just obvious. I'm like, oh, okay. And also she is a dragon girl, like some girls are horse girls. So she has been enjoying Heaven's Word a lot. We went through the whole talking to Chris Fulger and revealing the whole Shiva. They loved each other so much that he ate her. She was like, we're Flux, but okay. She's like, I'm not really into 4, but okay. Anyway, so we're in the vault. We get through, like, it's also, remember, the vault mechanics are fairly complicated, so the fighting to get to the end of it, it's not super easy mode. And, there's 4 of us, so we each have to do one of the roles. Usually I heal and Ward tanks, but sometimes they want to. I think I was healing, but I don't remember what anyone else was doing because I'm bad at paying attention to other people sometimes. But yeah, so we get through the vault and we're going through the cutscene, and I'm like, I have my like screen recording on, and I'm expecting, like a big like, no, oh my god, and it's just silent. Everybody is just dead silent, and then we get out of it, and then I'm like, oh, we gotta go tell his dad, and everybody's like, oh no. So we go back to House 4 Tops, and I swear to God, I did not cry this time until we got to telling Edmund. And like, goddamn, his voice actor is so good. When he's like trying to be brave, and then he breaks down crying and just going like, my son. I was like, oh no. So like, I'm silently weeping. Ward is silently weeping. I assume my friends are silently weeping. We're all just like sitting. We're all like, we like leave the 4 Times house. We're all just kind of like standing around outside of it, like. I think we were like, I think that's enough for today.
I really briefly just want to say, since I've only my very first experience of that cutscene, like playing through it and experiencing it, I had a very similar reaction. It wasn't a very vocal, like, oh my god. It was just a very, what the and disbelief and shock. And then it really didn't set in until talking to his dad, and I also didn't really tear up until he started talking.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, man,
I can dig it.
But well, yesterday we just played, and we got to the point where we got Burrito Yishtola, so that was fun. And my friend was like, how soon did the fanboys hack it so that they could see her naked? I'm like, girl, they don't need to hack the game. They have their mods, I'm sure. I was like, please never, just don't. I'm like, don't Google mods for this game. And she's like, well, of course I wouldn't use any mods. That's legal. And I'm like, no, I'm not talking about using them. Just like looking at the like about this mod page will fucking destroy your mind. Jesus Christ, dude.
Boobs everywhere.
It's like, and it's not just regular boobs. It's like the fucking, the massive, like, I am a queen ant carrying an egg sack on my chest twice. Boobs.
I've never, I mean, no offense to women out there who have breasts that large. I've never really been a fan of breasts that big.
I am a huge fan of huge boobs, but they have to actually be boobs, not like eldritch abomination sacks strapped to their tiny mortal form. It looks okay. As someone who has boobs, I know the limits of the human body when it comes to breasts. And the idea of having breasts so large that you are incapacitated by them is not sexy. And the fact that you're just drawing them walking around like it's nothing and they're flapping all over the place, no, I can't. My suspension of disbelief has been broken and I hate them. No. And I'm also just like, can we not just have really large breasts? Why do we have to go into the monster territory, you know? Like, I'm a fan of, like, anime big titties, of, like, mainstream anime, please, not hentai big titties, because those are...
Or Hime size is fine.
Yeah, or Hime size. Excellent. 2 thumbs up. Like, have you seen the anime Zom 100?
No.
10 out of 10 recommend.
There's better than to ask me that.
There's a character there named Beatrice, and she has very nice, perfectly proportioned, good. That's the thing is, I also like my big booby characters to also like have a little bit of a belly and a booty and like have it be like a curvy thing, not like a, hello, I am a Barbie doll with a giant fucking missile strapped to me. As a connoisseur of the boob, I also like it when they look like squishy. Does that make sense? Like, I don't, because like boobs are squishy. I do not like it when they're perfectly spherical. That's one thing that I really do not like, because that's weird and not how boobs work. And I don't like it when they're like, I don't know. Oh, they gotta have some squish. They gotta have some heft. That's the other thing. They gotta feel like they exist and they have weight, because so many like animes and games and stuff, they've got these characters walking around with these huge tits and they look like they're in zero gravity. You know what I mean? Like
they're
their
filled
tits
with
are
helium.
yeah. What does? I don't want to squeeze a balloon.
You'd be afraid to pop it.
Yeah, man.
Or make that really annoying squeaky sound when you holding a balloon, it like turns in your hand and makes it.
Yeah, absolutely not. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're staying true to form on the last episode of the year. I just say it's like I expect no less. We're hitting all the topics.
Boobas are a serious topic. All right. Boob discourse.
All right. So you got to Billy Stola, like how? So you got to Genya Stola back, like.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, wait, is that post 2.0? Like, have you done okay?
No, we're about to head out. We're about to get to Azazla. We are like, Sid is trying to make an ether battering ram to ram through the shield around Azazla, and then it's like,
oh no,
network.
Oh no, that means the next sacrifice scene is coming up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Shiva.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, she's
about to sacrifice herself.
I really like Ysayle.
Yeah,
she's so cool, but also like that she's willing to learn and like all that stuff. And also, Cassie was like, "Oh, she's being so like empathetic to Estinian because she's also having her like foundations shaken." And I'm like, "That's so true," but also Estinkian.
Yeah, there we go. Finally embraced the name. I'm so proud of you.
Oh man, you know what? That actually raises a question that I would like to pose to the two of you.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you could pick one character to pull an Estinian, basically he was in the narrative for one point and then he dropped it and now he's a full-fledged Scion. Pick a character that either dies or has gone off to do other things in the narrative and have them be like, nope, you're a Scion now. You're done with this part of your story. You're joining the Scions of the Seventh Dawn now. Who is that character for you?
Okay, Yugiri. Yugiri.
Yes. Okay.
I want my ninja waifu.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm on board.
That's the first one.
Question. I actually need to give that a little bit of thought.
I have so many that I have like even conceived of like stories and alternate universes where I'm like, and no, Amber, you don't need discard anymore.
Yeah, I have a few that I want to come, but I'm like, they're leaders of nation states, so they can't.
Like, I mean, even if you want to have like someone else take on their mantle, they're fair game. Anybody is fair game that's not a Scion. So,
well, Richard and Emmerich definitely. Like, I love both of them so much, but they're both such good leaders, and they're both exactly what their nation state needs. That I'm like, I could not, in good conscience, be like, come have adventures with us, or maybe do it sometime. Can you come part time? Yeah, I've Ritra, best boy, still 10 out of 10. He's so good. He tries so hard. He's so selfless. And like he's also like smart and diplomatic and like, yeah, I mean he should be. He's like what, how many thousands of years old?
A lot of them.
But still, like, when he just like shows up and I'm like, oh no, we're gonna have problems with the fucking Garleans, and Reach was like, hello, time for my diplomacy check. I'm like, oh my god, Alphinaud, this is how it's done. Take notes.
So for me, the answer, there's a ton of people that I would love to just be like, nope, you stay in the story because I love you and you're staying with us. The cheater answer I want to give is Reen.
Oh,
because
yes.
Let's be honest, she would, if they would figure out some narrative way to bridge a permanent connection between the source and the first.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the person who makes the most sense is somebody who's the leader of a nation state that really felt kind of forced into that role and probably shouldn't have taken that mantle on and should have stayed with us to continue her character growth. And I'm talking about Lise.
Oh, yeah. 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 She's got like Raubon is like right there, you know?
Exactly. Like it would make more sense to, maybe put the mantle on her and then she can say something like, you know what? I've grown a lot over the course of the, quote unquote, this adventure expansion, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But frankly, I've got a lot more growing to do. And luckily, this big guy has been more or less running Ul'dah and behind the scenes. So if Nanamo's ready to, take on more roles than she should have been doing previously, but that's a whole nother argument. Yeah, let's just yoink him over here. And I'm going to stay with my friends in the Scions and be awesome and kick butt.
Honestly, Elise has, I will not say many talents. She has a few talents. None of them seem to be statecraft or diplomacy. I mean, she does have the power friendship anime thing going for her, but I'm like, it's not good in the long term of nation.
I mean, when she does that council scene, where she brings all the Alamegans together, she handles that really well. And then, of course, Lakshmi
got everybody fucking primaled. She almost got everybody tempered by being like, I'm going to invite the beast tribes and we're not going to.
I've got
Oh, okay. Hit us.
It's a very unconventional choice.
I swear to God, if you say Emma Silk, I'm done.
No.
Okay. Who is it?
Soraben.
Ooh.
Oh, Turtle Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Oh.
He's cute. I did.
I think one thing, especially as far as it's I was just kind of thinking about the story wise, that some things came to mind like Hilda or Pippin and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, it doesn't. Not only are they kind of just different versions of people of science we already have, but is there? To me, the question was, who could be part of the Scions that would feel like something we haven't seen before, but someone who could add something, who could bring something different to the Scions. And I think Soraben fits that mold.
Isn't he he's becoming a kami, right?
Yeah, he took the place of one of the four lords at the end of that particular trial storyline. Spoilers if you haven't done that, but it's Stormblood.
Absolutely worth doing because you get to hang out with Tataru and you get to see her in her adorable little caster outfit, and then she's got her little carbuncle and everything. It's great. 10 out of 10.
Also, I maintain that if you're going to bring Tataru into the Scions in a combat role, make her a machinist. That would be amazing.
God, yes. That would be so funny.
But yeah,
I have Tataru. Scary enough. Then I gave her a gun.
I like having Tataru in a non-combat role. I think it's cool that they're also non-combat stuff is important for running an organization, and we're going to acknowledge that. And also have her be one of the most beloved characters, and not somebody who's following us around, complaining about bills and being like, do you know how much that adventure cost?
Yep. I think having a Beast Tribe person definitely.
That would be cool. It was really great for that brief moment in ARR when we had a sylph that was a member of the Scions, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
And then Livia showed up.
What's the name of the little? They're not goblins, are they? The other kind, the one who was tempered, but then now they cured him. The little.
Oh, the the goblin.
The kobolds?
Or not goblin.
Kobold, that's it.
Yeah.
He's so cute. It would be cute if he was like following us around and then like grew up. Or like we saw him again, he was like full grown and he was like, now I'm a badass. We'd be like, oh. And then it would come full circle. It was like, Alize saved you, so now you can save Alize.
My second choice, like if I go more conventional, now that I've kind of like given it a little more thought now, Zero duh, but everyone's gonna say Zero, but I would say Lean.
You say who? You cut out.
Lean, the Vieira from
what, you mean Lena?
Lena, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was combining Reen and Lena together. Yes, Lena.
That would also be a good choice.
With that. She's got to run the Crystal Tower now. That's the thing. Like everybody has a good reason not to come with us. Also stuck on the first.
Yeah.
But any more sexy fucking Nordic accents we can add. Oh my god.
Just please do not add a Lopperet to the Scions.
I'm okay with it.
I want Puddingway. Let us have Puddingway on the team.
All I have to say to that is no fucking way.
One of the other scenes I was present for my friend who's been going through the MSQ was that moment, like when you're back in Garlemald, and then you just see single Lopperet, slowly ambling forward, and then they start going pudding.
Yeah.
You're like, what the action? Oh dear God, it's Puddingway.
He never actually had pudding before. He just thought it sounded good.
And then, like, the entire time you're going through that cutscene, he's just ambling around in the background like a little Lopperet zombie. I never noticed how much of the background shots he's in. And I was dying the whole time just looking for him. Like, yep, there he is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we should get a Lopperet as an assistant to Satoru, because now she's got to run her global fucking empire. She needs someone to take over running day-to-day operations for the Scions. Why not?
A Lopperet, oh my god.
They like follow Oriange back.
Freaking get Livingway coming after us, actually doing the whole, do you know how much those teleportation fees are running?
It would be funny if they were like a human weeaboo, or like a Theris weeaboo. I mean, they all kind of are already, but like
I was going to say, that Heidelin kind of made them that way, so.
Yeah. Like this one got extra weeaboo on them, sorry. Just running around like Ariel. Have wrong names for everything.
Have you both, changing subject a little bit here because the end of the year is coming up, have you both played all the Fall Guys that you want to play and collected all the things you want to collect from it? Because you only got till the end of the year.
I have my inflatable rhino mount. I'm good.
I just wanted the sweater. Fall Guys is fun in Fall Guys, but like if you add on the Final Fantasy movement mechanics and everything, I'm just like, I hate platforming in Final Fantasy XIV already. So it's like, how about that? But like even spicier, and I'm like,
I got so frustrated. I hate the mechanic where you have a finger circling above you when the next time you push like your W key, you move wherever that finger's going. I despise that mechanic so much, and it's in every single Fall Guys course. So the second I got enough currency to buy the mount, I'm like, wait, that's it. That's all I have to do. Okay, never touching this again.
Yeah.
I don't see the appeal of Fall Guys as a game, so the collaboration never did much for me. But weird mount, I'm gonna get it.
I think it's fun. The actual game, you can like be on a team and like play it with your friends,
and you can collide into other players and push them off, and that's part of the fun of it. And
grab onto them, and it's just it's very chaotic, and it's more of a group thing, which that kind of game should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I pretty much gotten everything I need to get from it. The funny thing is, it's like when it was first announced and stuff, I was like, oh man, I'm going to be playing this all the freaking time. I played it diligently for about 2 weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I'm the kind of player that'll see like, oh, it's the friggin' gate event, yay! And then I'll see that it's one of the jumping ones, and I'm like, nope, I'll never fucking buy it. I'm not touching that.
Anytime it is 20 till the hour and it's Leap of Faith, absolutely avoid, because that mushroom Leap of Faith can die in a fire.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, no, absolutely not. It's not worth it. Like, I get so stressed out doing it that I'm like, even if I get to the top, it is not enough guilt or not enough MP to make it worth it.
Understandable. With the end of the year coming up, kind of figured you'd take a little bit of time to look back and look ahead. I've not prepared either of you for this question, so I'll give my answer. I'll give my answer or answers first if necessary. But I want to know one or more of your favorite moments from playing Final Fantasy XIV this year. For me, I've made note of a few things. Fall Guys was one of them. I mean, it was fun for a couple weeks. Getting my large house, getting the casino actually renovated and looking pretty freaking sharp, thanks to some help from some friends. The Eureka Orthos came out in March, which it's crazy to think that it's been that long. It feels like it's been longer. But Eureka Orthos was pretty freaking fun. Variant dungeons were fun. But the number one favorite moment, and it leads to part of podcast lore here, was May 23rd. Do you know what happened on May 23rd?
Did you get your card mount?
Is that when you got that?
No. Getting the card mount is big. It's funny that I didn't even note that down, but yes, that was a huge moment. Wow, that's crazy. But no, May 23rd was the release of patch 6.4 and the true unveiling of Estinkian in all his glory. When I saw that scene, I haven't laughed that hard at a Final Fantasy XIV cutscene in a long time. And for multiple reasons, there were so many thoughts going through my head, like, oh my goodness. And I spent a good week just looking at reactions to that scene from all sorts of content creators and stuff. One of the first things that went through my head was, I cannot wait to find out Meagan's reaction to this scene.
I was, in fact, streaming, and I think a lot of it is just me, like, blinking rapidly. I with my mouth open. And going, what?
It would definitely absolutely a highlight for me. So I mean, doing the stuff, the patch content with Zermos and the Final Fantasy XIV bosses and all that stuff, what was pretty cool. But the post-patch content, I guess, I mean, 6.55 has a little more left to reveal, but I'm going to say this might be a little bit of a hot take. I remember when Endwalker, in the lead up to Endwalker, Yoshi P had said something to the effect of there was going to be, before everything was over, before Dawn Trails, before the next expansion would come out, there would be something that there would be like a disaster, something that would change the game forever, or whatever like that. It's like the game will not be the same. And I think it's a combination of maybe the way it was translated made it seem a bit too more important than it was, and I personally set my expectations a little too high for something big to happen. Like, I was thinking, oh my gosh, all portals to all the shards are going to appear, or stuff like that. Now, mind you, 6.55 has yet to come out. Maybe something like that will still happen, but I feel like that's the setup for Dawn Trail, and I don't feel like I just don't think that the lead-in's going to do anything weird and wacky like that. The way that they're setting Dawn Trail up with these teasers and stuff as summer vacationing, I don't think we're going to have anything big and world-changing happen in 6.55. It's just set up for the next expansion. So I was a little let down by, I don't feel like anything, I kept on thinking there was going to be this big thing that was going to happen, and it didn't seem to happen. I mean, the resolution and stuff from Endwalker and stuff is all great and all, but I felt like there was something missing, and it never really showed itself. So I guess that's one reason why I'm kind of a little lukewarm on the Point X MSQ. But a lot of other great memories besides that this year. And now that I think I've rambled long enough, Brandon, what's some of your favorite moments this year?
So I actually had to crack open my screenshot folder to see if I could recreate what all happened this year, just using that. And I think it's gonna have to be the journey to the Mecha Dragon. If my screenshots are accurate, starting in early February, I began farming all of the Shadowbringers EX trials, attempting to collect all of the mounts from them. And the first mount I see in my folder is the one from Titania. And again, assuming I took this screenshot the same day I picked it up, that started on February 10th. And I finally completed that, getting the final mount, which was from Emerald Weapon, in mid-June.
Nice.
So I had been wanting that Mecha Dragon because it combines two of my favorite things, which are machines and dragons.
Sure.
Ever since I, saw it, saw people with it in, back in Shadowbringers. But I thought to myself, well, I'm never going to farm, extreme trials. I'm never going to get that. And then my friends that I had grown close to over this past year, and I believe, some of early the year before, they said, well, we take people through these EXs to collect those mounts a lot. So do you want to join us? And I said, heck yes. So periodically, whenever we had nothing better to do, we'd get a group together and say, we're going to go farm Hades. We're going to go farm Ruby Weapon, whatever. I think, Meagan, you and Ward joined us for the Ruby Weapon farm at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of my favorite memories, when you and Ward were perfectly positioned in that one cutscene, and you had your skimpy glams on, and we swung by, just close-up shot of both of your butts. It was fantastic. So yeah, completing that, it was a goal I didn't think I'd ever actually achieve, and then I finally have it. And it's the one mount I use almost to the exclusion of everything else, because it's so pretty and I like it. Yeah, I think it's just mostly a collection of all the, crazy, goofy stuff I've gotten up to with a lot of friends in the FC that I've gotten a lot closer to over the past year.
Awesome. Good stuff. Meagan, how about you? I gotta imagine, like, this journey with the other two friends, like, redoing the MSQ thing is obviously a big highlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably number ones, because these are the girl of the couple is my best friend from high school. Like, we've known each other forever. And we stayed connected playing World of Warcraft for the longest time. And then when we both kind of drifted away from WoW, we still talk, but not nearly as much. And so being able to, like, reconnect and hang out. We're also really good friends with her husband, who she met in college. But, like, so we would play WoW as, like, a little 4-man band. And now we get to do that again. And it's really fun. And it's also really fun to go back, because, like, well, yes, I have done the MSQ before. A lot of it has been so long that I've kind of forgotten a lot, especially a lot of the particulars about, like, what exactly happened. And it's really fun to just go through and watch it with, like, a fresh pair of eyes, and talk about stuff, and, like, constantly be, like, trying to hold things back and being like, don't mention whatever. I like, yeah, I was really glad that she likes Graha, and I'm I did not sway her in any way. I was, like, trying to be very quiet and not be like whatever, but she was like, this guy is a nerd and he loves us, he's great. I'm like, yes, excellent. But yeah, but the other like non-social thing, I guess, would be finally going back and doing all the Hildebrand quests that I'd been avoiding for so long. They were way better than I thought they would be, for sure. Especially the most recent ones have been just fucking hilarious and insane. at the same time, I think, well, it's like, I knew it was going to be a lot of anime bullshit, and like, I have a very high tolerance for anime bullshit, but it's like, it's kind of its own flavor of anime bullshit, because it's not actually anime, it's like, video game people. But like, I love, you really get the feeling that they're like, how zany can we get with the animation systems and the models that we have in the game? Like, they're always pushing the envelope and doing crazier and crazier things with it. And like, there's like actually random, and then there's like lol random. And I feel like Hildebrand is actually random in that, like, you never know where the fuck this is gonna go.
I can't wait for the end of that. You
might think but you don't know. And it's just like, it's like this whole facet of the game that I had just been avoiding, and then it was like I had to do it to get my weapons. So I was like, oh, fine. Like, I acted like it was gonna be a chore, and then like, let me tell you, blitzing through that whole thing in like a week. Good lord.
Yeah, I don't know how you survive that.
I have a very high tolerance for anime bullshit, as we have previously discussed. But oh my god. And I like just getting hit with it like a tidal wave, like just like I don't regret it, but it was quite an experience. I don't think I'll ever have another experience like that ever again. So good job. And I'm still horrified by how well they do the motion capture of his like legs kicking in the air. Like, it's too good. Please, no. Please dial that back. Please make him less fluid. He's too fluid. He should not be the most fluid thing in the game.
She's not wrong.
Just adds to his eldritchness.
There's one last highlight for me that I totally forgot to bring up earlier, as far as like things that have been happening recently in game. One of the few times that I logged into Final Fantasy XIV over the past month, I got something in my Moogle mailbox.
What was that?
It said, "Congratulations, your screenshot was selected for the 10th anniversary mosaic."
Oh, yeah.
I got the Chocobo barding, and I don't know which of the 3 screenshots I sent in are going to be a part of the mosaic, but I know that one of them is going to be part of it, and 20, I guess mine's one of 20,000 screenshots that are going to make it up, and I can't wait to check it out and try to go full Where's Waldo trying to find my screenshot. But yeah, that was I'm super stoked about that, because it's like, when I sent those in, I totally thought that there's no way any one of these are going to be picked, because I figured a ton of people had to enter. So that was pretty cool. All right. Last thing before we go and wrap things up for 2023. New Year's resolutions. I mean, it's cliche. I'm sure every podcast near the end of the year, beginning of the year has these. And hey, who am I to avoid cliches, right? So, Final Fantasy XIV resolutions for the new year, as far as like things that you plan to achieve or do, whether it's in the new expansion or not. Again, to give these two some time to think of goals that they have for the new year. Here's some of mine. I am going to finally have an Omni Crafter and Gatherer at 100.
Woo!
I'm going to get either Machinist or the second Dawn Trail job, depending on what they reveal, to 100, along with Red Mage and Summoner. If the second Dawn Trail job is good enough, then it'll be that. But right now, I'm leaning toward Machinist or that. I'm telling you right now, if it's Green Mage, and it might be, Green Mage is going to 100, like without question. And last resolution, huh?
You don't wish to be a Viper?
I've never really been a melee person. Like the closest to melee I get is using my Red Mage abilities to charge in and out and stuff, and charging in with Ifrit on the Summoner. That's
I will
about
say I'm generally absolutely not a melee person, but I really enjoyed Reaper, so I am genuinely curious if it's going to be as good or maybe better.
I'm hoping they don't make the same mistake because they've hinted that Viper is going to be a fairly complicated rotation, somewhat akin to Ninja, right. And I hope they don't make that mistake because frankly, Ninja's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, there are players that like that shit, and I'm fine with their rank 2 classes that are overly complicated. I will try it. I have tried Ninja and been like, oh no, thank you.
As a person who plays jobs with 2 of the relatively easiest rotations in the game, yeah, Viper's probably not for me. But the last resolution that's on my list here is to watch the first season of any anime series of Meagan's choice from start to end.
Oh my god, really?
Oh no.
I have to choose something. Oh shit.
Yeah, you've got till the end of the year to think of one.
Oh, I gotta know like genres, anime bullshit tolerance levels, and
I can tolerate pretty good degrees of anime bullshit. The only thing I'm going to say is no hentai.
Okay. I wasn't
gonna filter out the hentai. Like, I don't care if there's nudity or boobs. Fan service is one thing, but
I was about to say
hentai, no.
Fan service is part of the anime bullshit. So
sure, right?
Okay, all right. But also, like, how deep in the feels do you want to get? Because there's a lot of anime that I would recommend, but I'm like, you're gonna cry.
I've cried at stuff before. I've cried at video games, so I can cry at anime. It's fine.
Okay. Oh god, this is gonna be hard. It's like, I don't know. Do I pick one that I hope will get you into other stuff? Do I like pick one that I just think is like really good? Do I pick one that's really like emotionally resonant? I don't know. This is very tough. Only one?
You got 2 weeks to figure it out. All right, now that I've given you guys
a long one just to like give you a middle finger. What if I pick One Piece, bitch?
Okay, let's true. There's a point there. So I'm going to put a qualifier on this. The first season or first
like arc or
yeah, I mean, like, nothing, like, first arc is fine. Like, I'm gonna say numbers wise, let's try to keep it to under 40 episodes.
Okay, all right, that's doable. Most anime seasons nowadays are like 20 episodes,
right?
12 to 20.
I mean, I watched Death Note from start to finish, and that was like 34, 37 or something like that. So.
All right. God, I have to like make an entire questionnaire of like how cerebral do you want this to be, how gory is it allowed to be, or like what I don't.
Gore doesn't bother me in the anime.
Okay. I have so many ideas, and I'm gonna have a really hard time narrowing it down to one because, fuck, man.
Well, while you're still wrestling that, Brandon, do you have a New Year's resolutions for Final Fantasy XIV or this podcast or otherwise?
Yeah, I need to refill my dad joke backlog because I'm running a bit low. No, I'm kidding.
If you have, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this one out there. I'm going to go this far. If you are interested in having Brandon read one of your dad jokes, and it has to be an original dad joke. By that, I mean it shouldn't be something that if I do a search on the internet, I'm going to see it was written by someone else. If you send in an original Final Fantasy XIV dad joke to podcastreborn@gmail.com, and if Brandon chooses to read it, the first one that Brandon chooses from email submissions, I will give you 60 days of game time out of my pocket.
Hell yes. Come on. The challenge lane, I will do it. I will give it the gravitas it deserves. I will make you proud because I will be proud.
All
right.
You wish to torture me.
Yes, please help me torture Meagan. It's more fun to have backup for this sort of thing. I have a bunch of stuff I want to get done before Dawn Trail happens. And then once Dawn Trail happens, it's like I have the same goals that I just reset and say like, all right, now this, but at level 100.
Sure.
So, I'm gonna stick with two. I'm gonna stick with one major one that I want to get done before Dawn Trail, and then I'm gonna stick with one that I want to happen. Which I know it's going to happen during Dawn Trail, just because we know when Dawn Trail is going to happen.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to do, my personal headcanon story is that I have 4 characters that share the mantle of Warrior of Light.
Mm.
I came up with this after I race changed or Fantasia'd, sorry, my Al Ra boy into my Makote, and ended up, it was originally supposed to be like, I'm just going to do this for a month and see if I can do it without driving myself crazy. Cause I'm never going to like playing a cat girl. Yeah. I had a lot of fun playing a cat girl. So I made her own character with her own backstory and personality. And I just left her there. And eventually I paid for a name change to change her to her, quote unquote canonical name. And I've never gone back up until very recently on this is my alt on the Seraph server I talked about. I want to get that character. I want to have his canonical jobs, of which he only has 3. I want to get them all to max level. I want to finish, everything through all the Endwalker patches with him and just have him ready to go for an eventual playthrough of the Dawn Trail MSQ with him. And he's got, I think he's around like the high 30s currently. So I've got a fair bit of content to get through. The other thing, one of my big regrets for 2023 is that I did not participate in the Daily Write Challenge in September, which was FF14 Write 2023, because I had zero motivation at that point. I was barely logging into Final Fantasy. My creative focus was towards other things like, Baldur's Gate and even just all my tabletop RPG games.
Yeah.
So I had no motivation. I had no time. And I realized the day before the event started, if I try to force myself to participate in this, I'm going to burn myself out very quickly and probably start hating the game and my characters. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to step back, say it's not happening this year. I don't have the mental bandwidth. I loved reading everyone's submissions, and I know it was great for my mental health not to try and force myself to do it. But come 2024, I don't want to miss it again. I want to be feeling motivated and feeling great about, all this Dawn Trail story we've had is just amazing. And I want to be in there writing and enjoying myself and feeling creatively fulfilled through it again.
Do you know, I'm not necessarily suggesting that you should do it the way I'm about to say I do it, but I think if I were in your shoes, I would write when it struck me and put it aside and just put it aside for that month. Maybe it goes against the spirit of the challenge, like writing every day, but I don't know, it's submitting something. I don't think that it's too different from submitting something a day for a month. You know what I mean?
I do. And the whole point of the challenge is just to get you actually writing, you should publish it somewhere, submit it for, the random chance to win something. It's basically just to force you to write and not worry about perfection.
Yeah. The problem with creative endeavors is that if you just wait for inspiration to strike, you might not do a lot of stuff, or it'll be really inconsistent. All of my output ever.
I miss Pickup Group in Another World.
Look, man, I'm planning to continue it and keep doing it. I just injured my wrist while on a cruise ship, which is why
God.
It wasn't anything big or spectacular. It was just I slept in a strange bed, so I slept on it wrong.
You hurt your wrist sleeping.
Yes. I am ancient. I am decrepit.
You're the youngest person on this show.
I took con as my dump stat, okay?
Oh my god.
That's great.
I have plans. I definitely want to keep doing it. It's just depends on my arm to be good.
Listeners, lest you think I'm trying to pressure Meagan to, right, monkey, right. I'm just trying to keep reminding you all that her webtoon exists. Yeah, what little she has put out is really quite good. And I hope you all go subscribe to it and read it because it is pretty great. And I want her to keep doing it because I really like it. But I'm in no way trying to say that you owe me this or anything like that.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I really do enjoy doing the webtoon and I really want to keep going with it. It's just like, man, I already downgraded the art to make it easier it is no longer full color. I'm sorry, but I can't do because I want to get if I was just doing a few panels a week, then sure, but I want to have a whole scene, so it just takes way too long if I'm going to color it also. I think I've settled on a style that I think is okay or that I like and that I can do fast enough, but I have a shit constitution. It's my life. It's how it has always been. And, yeah, I slip. When I sleep, on my side, I have to put a pillow under my hand. I call it my princess wrist. If my hand lays flat, my arm lays flat on my side. For some reason, it fucks up my wrist. And I didn't, also, it was a cruise ship, so I was probably drunk. Don't fall some drunk kids. It's dangerous for your princess wrist.
So, besides getting webtoon shenanigans back on track, what Final Fantasy XIV resolutions or otherwise do you have for next year?
I really want to get my friends through the MSQ, and then I want to get us a house for a free company, and I want to get our theater company up and running because I'm super freaking jazzed about this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Our plan right now is to write macros for the performance and then just walk up on stage, hit macro 1 and then the other person hits their macro 1 and then, actually have
that's totally the way to do it.
Yeah. Have the emote animations and we were going to have Ward be a stage effects ninja, in a full black ninja outfit. And when someone gets stabbed, he'll come out and do the red paint on the floor. Or so I'm really looking forward to that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We had
those emotes drop at map night the other night, and I skipped them because I'm like, when am I ever going to use this?
Oh my god, our raid, we constantly whenever. Okay, we bully lovingly, all right, just so you know. But we'll be haha, PB pants, and we'll all put yellow under someone.
I can imagine you right now hiring out a tribe of a Black Shadow Ninja Cloud Lalafell to simultaneously use fireworks items or other stuff for big things.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to start with the 4 of us, but I have a feeling that it'll probably other people will want to join. And we're going to we'll have we'll times for performances. We'll put out invites. We'll have a little webpage for it and everything. I'm an artist. Cassie is an artist. We used to do a lot of RP in World of Warcraft where the RP infrastructure was non-existent. So
yeah,
to actually be this is our house and we're going to have a theater in the basement is going to be very exciting. So I'm really, and I really want them to get caught up to the story so I can talk to them about it. And then we can
Do you think you'll get caught up prior to Dawn Trail launching?
I hope so. What we're planning to do is hopefully after Christmas or I think after New Year's, because the husband works he's a chef, so he works in the kitchen. He's really busy over the holidays too. So we're hoping after New Year's we'll be able to have everybody can take a little time off and we could just power through it and have some fun and at least get through a few expansions. That's the hope. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, but it is a lot of content, guys. It is a lot of content.
I'm very aware.
It's a mountain of content. There's a part of me yes, I could go back and do it again, and New Game Plus is a thing, but there's nothing quite like your first time going through that stuff. So part of me definitely misses that.
Well, it's they don't want to RP until they know all the lore.
I get that. Yeah.
And they don't want to just go learn it from a Wikipedia. They want to play through all of it.
Yeah,
I mean that's the way to do it.
Well, Cassie is Viera, and her husband is an Aura, and so I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of Aura lore and like another expansion in Stormblood. Yeah. You're not going to learn anything about him for a while. And like Viera, I'm like, there's a little bit in like 2 expansions. Not much though, but especially not for boy Viera.
Yeah.
You are. It's like I know they're like the most popular player race, but like you are supposed to be like a unicorn.
I feel like it's. I think that's a big motivating factor to them, like having Aaronville be part of the Dawntrail story.
True. Aaronville forever. Have Aaronville join the Scions, although he's not a fighter. I don't know. Can you collect him for us?
I mean, he'd be like an information gatherer and stuff like that, possibly. So
yeah,
who knows?
Instant combat, just add gun.
You could kind of think of Aaronville as like the good Hancock.
Oh Lord.
Well, I think that is going to do it for 2023 for this show. To everyone who has been listening to us since the very first episode, thank you so much. If this is your first time listening to us, I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed it. We do things pretty differently from our 14 podcasts here, but I've had a wonderful time, and I'm looking forward to many more great episodes with both of you. Like I said, these are probably going to be monthly episodes until we get a little closer to Dawntrail launching. Like when 655 comes out, we may have a couple episodes close together, but I think monthly feels like the right cadence for now while things are kind of in the in-between times. So you can expect another episode sometime in the middle of January. I hope you guys have a good holiday season, both of you listeners, and you too, Brandon and Meagan. I hope you have a good holiday season, whatever you are celebrating.
Yeah.
Me too.
Until then, Meagan, where can people find you on the internets?
All right. I stream on Twitch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My name on there is Catmom Meagan. My name everywhere is Catmom Meagan. And Meagan is spelled Meagan. It's all one word. I also have my Webtoon pickup group to another world. If you go to Webtoon and you go to Canvas, that's like, I'm not sponsored by actual Webtoon. And you search pickup group to another world, you'll find it. And yeah, you find me on Twitter. You can find me on Tumblr. I changed my name on Tumblr finally. And I'm also on Blue Sky. And TikTok has a lot of my stream highlights if you want to check that out. Yeah, I'm a VTuber. I VTube. You'll see my boob discourse in action if you see my VTuber. Oh my god, I was literally like, I was so focused on getting the jiggle physics right, you don't even know. I was like, this is too much, this is little. But yeah, that's how you find me. Catmom Meagan everywhere.
Brandon, how about you? Where can people find you?
Pretty much, if it exists, I'm probably there as at the BMAT, THEBMATT. Most actively is going to be on Blue Sky, Instagram, and probably my Tumblr, where I'm not doing Final Fantasy things as much as I used to, but I'm getting back into it. You can also check my blog out at yourquestlogisfull.wordpress.com. I write mostly these days about tabletop RPG stuff and character building. And I've also got my D&D podcast with Ro. It's called +5 to Hit. We just, I believe, Ro, you just uploaded the second part of our little holiday level 20 mini campaign.
I did.
Excellent. That was a lot of fun. So go enjoy our shenanigans over there.
All right. As for myself, you can currently find me on Twitter at PodcasterRo. That's Podcaster RHO. You can find the show on Twitter at A Podcast Reborn. And one resolution I have is to get the show its own account on Blue Sky in the near future. So it'll probably be something like A Podcast Reborn on Blue Sky. You can also email us at apodcastreborn@gmail.com. Once again, reminder, spontaneous contest. If you want to have your original, and I do mean original Final Fantasy XIV dad joke, submit it to the show at podcastreborn@gmail.com. If whoever is the first to be chosen by Brandon, I'll give it like a month or two, and the first one to be chosen by Brandon to be read on the show, you'll get a 60-day game time card. If I look up your joke and I see that somewhere else on the internet, is disqualified, so must be original. Of course, the theme music is provided by Husky by the Geek. There's a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes, and any of his music, derivatives of Final Fantasy XIV music that you hear on this podcast, that is property of Square Enix, and no copyright infringement is intended. That will do it for 2023. For Meagan, for Brandon, for Ward, for all of our guest co-hosts this year, and of course for Butterscotch and Bon Bon, this is Brian Black. Until next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon?
Why was the bard so happy when he got petrified? Because he always dreamed of being a rock musician.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like he really wanted to get hard or something like that.
What? Brandon, good joke. Meagan, why?
She was leaning too hard into the horny bard trope.
Look, I am the bard, basically, all right?
Oh, man. Happy 2023, everyone. Here's to 2024, the year where I break these people even more.
Was I ever complete? Was I ever not broken? All the time I'm like, I lost it. I never had.
That's between you and your therapist.
Oh, God.